Rintaro stared at the glowing screen of his phone while thinking of the growing tension between him and his friends. His thoughts were abruptly interrupted by a notification from Kaoruko. She expressed relief and joy that Subaru now knew about their friendship. Looking back at his friend's silent chat, a wave of clarity washed over him. Rintaro decides to tell them the truth about his relationship with Kaoruko and Subaru. Meanwhile, Chidori High was alive with the chaotic energy of sports festival preparations. Amidst the drills, Shohei pulled Saku and Ayato aside, voicing his concerns about Rintaro's recent bizarre behavior. Glancing across the field, they watched Rintaro drop a simple ball, completely distracted and out of sync. For someone naturally gifted at sports, it was a glaring red flag. Driven by a newfound determination to uncover what was plaguing their friend, the trio discreetly followed him after school, tracking him far from their usual routes to a distant park. To their utter bewilderment, they watched Rintaro meet up with Kaoruko and Subaru. At a family restaurant, Rintaro sat across from the two Kikyo High girls and offered a sincere apology for calling an emergency meeting. However, Kaoruko doesn't mind and expresses how genuinely happy she is to see him before getting flustered. Beside her, Subaru silently judges Kaoruko's abysmal attempt at hiding her romantic feelings. Only a few booths away, the Chidori trio watched in secret. Shohei was practically seething with a sudden, comical jealousy, while Ayato casually browsed the menu, trying to decide what to order. When Subaru finally spoke up, the trio leaned in closer to listen. Subaru asked Rintaro what was on his mind. Taking a deep breath, Rintaro confessed that he wanted to tell his Chidori friends the truth about them, since he doesn't want to hide anything from them anymore. He further explains how he's always been avoided because of his appearance, but when he came to Chidori, he found himself spending a lot of time with them, eventually finding a place where he felt he belonged. He bowed his head, earnestly asking for their permission to come clean. Kaoruko agreed without a second thought. Subaru followed suit, offering a rare, approving smile. The fact that Rintaro had gone out of his way to ask them first proved just how deeply sincere he was. Kaoruko smiled warmly, concluding that she puts her faith in Rintaro and believes in his friends since he also believes in them. Overwhelmed with emotion, Rintaro managed to thank them, completely unaware that a few booths over, his friends sat in absolute silence, processing the profound weight of his words. By the time the meeting concluded, night had fallen. Walking toward the train station, Subaru suggested that all 6 of them should meet up properly in the future so she could formally apologize for the previous incident. Rintaro smiled warmly, promising he could arrange it. But the peaceful atmosphere shattered when a group of older teenagers intercepted them. Recognizing Rintaro by his distinct blonde hair and Chidori uniform, their leader stepped forward, demanding a moment of his time. They are the veterans from the 2 guys who attacked Rintaro before. Both are there as well, but hiding behind a tree. Wanting to avoid conflict, Rintaro politely excused himself and tried to guide the girls away. Suddenly, 2 more thugs cut off their escape. The leader began offering a mocking, insincere apology for the actions of his underclassmen. Judging Rintaro by his rough appearance, the leader assumed he was the culprit. Kaoruko boldly stepped in to defend him, but the leader dismissed her. Things get even worse when the thugs notice the Kikyo uniforms and say they want to play a little with rich girls now. He stepped between the thugs and the girls, demanding he be allowed to take them to the station before they settled anything. When one of the guys touches Subaru's hair, Shohei shows up and grabs his hand. Saku and Ayato stepped into the light. Saku looks at Rintaro, telling him to get the girls safely to the station and leave the rest to them. As he ushered Kaoruko and Subaru away, he shouted back, promising he would explain everything tomorrow. Saku goes straight to the 2 guys hiding and calls them pathetic for needing backup and not standing up for themselves. That's when they reveal they were the ones who hurt Rintaro before, saying he is the pathetic one, but they don't know they're poking the bear. Ayato snaps, drops his bag onto the ground, and walks towards them with a determined expression. At the station, Rintaro apologizes for putting Kaoruko and Subaru in danger. When his phone rang, it was Ayato checking in on them. Rintaro immediately offered to run back and help, but Saku snatched the phone, barked at Rintaro to just go home and rest, and promptly hung up. Back in the alleyway, Ayato stood in the center, completely unfazed, having systematically dismantled the entire group by himself. Ayato genuinely preferred peace, but hurting his friends was a line no one was allowed to cross. He squats down in front of one of the delinquents, telling him that Rintaro is the coolest guy ever, and threatening him not to ever step out of line again. Leaving the terrified thugs behind, the three walked away, suddenly re-energized and excited for the sports festival. Ayato tells Saku to make up with Rintaro, and he says he'll try. The day of the sports festival arrived, but Rintaro was having a miserable time. After a devastating strikeout at baseball, his frustrated teammates benched him. Retreating to the outdoor sinks to splash cold water on his face, Rintaro beat himself up. His lack of focus was entirely due to the fact that he hadn't been able to face his friends since the incident. Just then, his friends find him, and he thanks them for what happened yesterday. Shohei expresses his gratitude for resolving everything well enough and blurts out that he's glad they followed them. Rintaro gets flustered, now realizing why they showed up at the perfect time, and piecing together that they heard everything he said at the restaurant. In a panic, Shohei grabs Ayato and scurries off, leaving Saku and Rintaro alone together. Saku took a deep breath and told Rintaro that he always blames himself for everything, so now he needs to be quiet and listen to him for a bit. The boy tells him he was happy when he heard Rintaro yesterday, and he tries his best to express his feelings as sincerely as possible. So he tells him he trusts Ayato, Usami, and Rintaro from the bottom of his heart. Hearing the words he had desperately needed, tears welled up in Rintaro's eyes. Overwhelmed by relief and the sheer weight of their restored bond, he squatted down, hiding his face to control his emotions. Around the corner, Shohei and Ayato peeked out, worried their emotionally stunted friends would mess things up. Seeing the tension melt away, they smiled. Later that afternoon, the baseball finals were down to the wire. Rintaro stood up to bat in a crucial moment, and while his teammates doubted him, Saku put his full faith in him as he hit a spectacular home run. While Rintaro is running, he looks up and admires the clear sky they have, and when he comes back, he is bombarded with his team thanking him for bringing them to the finals. After their sports festival, Shohei is left in tears after his class loses a crucial match, costing them a promised round of ice cream from Makoto. Despite the loss, they're eating ice cream anyway. The mood shifts when Rintaro receives a text message. He turns to the group, asking if they have time for an impromptu meetup with Kaoruko and Subaru. They agreed to gather at a nearby park, choosing a location intentionally far from either of their schools. After a round of introductions, Kaoruko and Shohei immediately bond over recent sports festival antics. Seizing a quiet moment, Kaoruko and Subaru formally thanked the boys for stepping in to save them the previous day, presenting them with a bag of treats as a token of appreciation. Moved by the gesture, a tearful Shohei insisted they open the bag and start eating right away. Suddenly, Subaru stood up. With a formal bow, she began to earnestly apologize for her harsh demeanor during their previous encounter at the library. Shohei, caught off guard, bashfully admitted that he didn't even remember what she had said. Relieved and overwhelmed by his easygoing nature, Subaru welled up in tears. Sensing the shift in atmosphere, Saku surprised everyone by offering his own apology for his past irrational behavior. As the tension fully dissolved, Subaru pulled out a second bag of expensive sweets. The boys go crazy, and they all decide to share the treats together. Subaru hesitated at first, admitting she feared they might still harbor some resentment toward her. The boys quickly reassured her, firmly stating that while she might be a student from Kikyo, it didn't change how they viewed her as a person. As evening approached, the group began their walk back. Shohei, already planning his revenge for the next sports festival, pestered Subaru about where she bought the snacks so he could demand Makoto buy them next time. The four of them drifted ahead, leaving Kaoruko and Rintaro walking alone in the back. Watching her friends, Kaoruko smiled softly, telling Rintaro how happy she was to see him speaking so openly with his friends. After a comfortable silence, Rintaro cleared his throat and asked Kaoruko if there was anything she wanted as repayment for tutoring him. Blushing slightly, she looked at him and replied that she wished to go somewhere together. A brief memory flashed through Rintaro's mind from right before they had met up with the girls. Shohei had complimented him on how straightforward he had become, noting how much he had changed. At the time, Rintaro knew exactly who was responsible for that change: Kaoruko. Back in the present, Rintaro was riding the train to their rendezvous point, his hands sweating from nerves. The moment he stepped onto the platform, Kaoruko turned out to be behind him. They both burst into laughter, realizing they had been riding the exact same train without knowing it. Kaoruko ends up thanking Rintaro for coming along, and they make their way toward their destination, the local aquarium. Inside, the dim blue light of the exhibits surrounded them. Looking at the displays, Kaoruko remarked that she hadn't been to an aquarium since middle school. Rintaro admitted it had been even longer for him. His last visit was a family trip during elementary school, laughing at how he only cared about the massive sharks and completely ignored the smaller fish. As they wandered through the exhibits, Rintaro asked if she still wanted to catch the dolphin show later. Excitement lit up Kaoruko's face. She explained she had seen a television special about a limited-time seasonal performance and desperately wanted to experience it with him. She immediately began budgeting their time, calculating their route through the exhibits. When she anxiously asks if they have enough time to see it all, Rintaro smiles, reassuring her that they will do whatever she wants to do today. The afternoon passed in a blur of shared moments. They wandered through a massive glass tunnel with manta rays gliding overhead, snapped a photo in front of the illuminated jellyfish tanks, braved a swinging ship ride, and finally stopped for a bite to eat at the aquarium's cafe. Sitting at a table flanked by an indoor stream where fish swam past, Rintaro took the opportunity to speak from the heart. He thanked Kaoruko, not just for helping him pass his exams, but for helping him mend his relationship with his friends. After finishing their meal, they made their way toward the stadium. Though Rintaro excused himself for a quick restroom break, waiting outside, Kaoruko sat on a bench and flipped through the photos on her phone, quietly whispering to herself that the day had been a treasure. Meanwhile, in the restroom, Rintaro thinks of how he had enjoyed himself immensely, but he couldn't shake a wave of anxiety. Kaoruko had looked exceptionally beautiful all day, and he found himself worrying if he was being a good date. Realizing the dolphin show was about to start, he shook off his nerves and hurried back. When he returned, he found a crying little girl clutching Kaoruko's hand. Kaoruko notes how it seems she's lost. She then asks Rintaro if it's okay to help look for her family. Rintaro is worried they won't make it to the dolphin show, but Kaoruko would rather not leave the child alone. Kneeling down, Kaoruko gently asked where she had last seen her family. The girl sniffled, murmuring that it was near the shark exhibit. Kaoruko's soothing tone instantly calmed the child, a display of kindness that made Rintaro smile. Kaoruko introduced herself and asked her name. The girl replied, "Mika." Kaoruko then gestured toward Rintaro. Though Mika initially shrank back from his tall frame, Rintaro crouched down and offered a gentle introduction of his own. With close to no hesitation, Mika calls him Rin-chan, which leaves him flustered and Kaoruko giggling. Kaoruko decides to head over and look for Mika's parents while Rintaro stays behind to keep Mika company. Sitting on a nearby bench, Mika began to apologize for ruining their day, but Rintaro quickly reassured her, saying it's all right. Mika innocently asked if they were a couple, but Rintaro denied it. She further remarks how she would like to go on a date with Daiki, a fellow kindergarten boy she has a crush on. What ends up resonating with Rintaro is how Mika remarks that seeing Daiki's smile makes her happy. The innocent comment struck a chord deep within Rintaro. Before he could ponder the thought, Kaoruko returned, accompanied by Mika's parents. As the family thanked them and prepared to leave, Mika pulled Rintaro down to whisper a final parting thought, that he and Kaoruko would make a really great couple. Left flustered and blushing, Rintaro looked at Kaoruko, who seemed a bit disappointed as she glanced at the stadium. The standard dolphin show had already ended. Sensing her disappointment, Rintaro asks her if she still has time. Then they could stay for the night show? Her face lit up instantly. They make their way over and find a place to sit down as the show starts. The water was illuminated by vibrant colored lights as the dolphins leaped through the air. The spectacle was breathtaking. Under the magic of the performance, Kaoruko turns to Rintaro, offering an earnest, glowing thank you, not just for the day, but for wanting to spend his time with her. Looking at her radiant smile, the pieces finally clicked together for Rintaro. In that quiet, spectacular moment, he experiences a sudden, undeniable epiphany. He has fallen completely in love with Kaoruko. For the next episode, check the link in the description. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.